Okay, so I'm going to do a quickie mashup of two movies because there were four movies this last weekend, as usual. We're already on Tuesday, and I haven't reviewed either one of them. And I also have two more to watch. So, um, at least one of them, I don't even know that I'm halfway through on it, and the other one I'm literally like 20 minutes into. So I literally was at one point watching all four of these at the same time, which is silly, but I did it anyway. So anyway, um, let's talk about everything Christmas, and I think that's the name of it. So this was the one that I was worried about because Cindy Busby is in it, and I feel like I usually wind up not liking a Cindy Busby movie, and Corey Sevier, but I do like him because I liked him in that Noel Next Door movie. So he's in it, and also the lady who was from the hilariously bad Godwink movie from a few years ago that I absolutely um, loved watching because it was so insane. She's plays Cindy Busby's best friend. Cindy Busby's name is LJ, short for Lori Joe, and Lori Joe is working for this guy who's a total jerk, and we in the first like 2 minutes of the movie, he basically is like, "You're gonna have to cancel this trip that you made for Christmas because we have important work things to do." And she was like, "I quit." And her friend also works there, and the trip that she wants to make is to go to this special place to hang this ornament on a tree that she and her grandmother made together. So my first question is, the ornament is has light inside, and if she and her grandmother made this, I'm sure this is supposed to have been many, many years ago. I do not understand what is keeping these lights on. I can't tell if there is some way that they are battery powered or what the situation is. Makes absolutely no sense, but there's a lot of stuff in this movie that doesn't make any sense, so you need to just get rid of trying to figure anything out. That's the first thing that you need to do if you're going to watch this movie. So they're going to go to. There are several Christmas type places that they wind up going, she and her friend. And so I can't remember if it's Yuletide Springs that was supposed to be her ultimate destination, but I know that is one of the places she goes. But anyway, she stops on the way because her car like has an issue, and somebody pulls up in this red truck who obviously we're supposed to think right away is Santa Claus, is the actual Santa. And he has, exactly the right thing that she needs. And somehow he convinces her to go into the town where he, you know what, I don't remember because there was a lot. I literally just finished this like yesterday, but there's so many different places and things that happen along the way. But the basic thing is there's this guy who we're wondering the whole time if he's Santa, and then at the end they sort of say no, he's not really Santa, he's just an illusionist. But no, I think he's really supposed to be Santa because there was some stuff that would be impossible for anybody to set up as far as a chain of events. Like, for example, they get to this place. I'm skipping ahead. It doesn't matter, you guys. It doesn't matter at all. They get to this place where, see, I shouldn't even give this away because all you need to know is that Chris sets up a bunch of stuff so that when they get to a particular place, the fact that Chris did something or gave them something or whatever is going to be the key to helping them out in that particular place. So the basic story you need to know is A, this guy is probably Santa Claus, who we keep seeing here and there. B, Lori Joe is immediately drawn to this Corey Sevier character, and he winds up being on part of the road trip with them. And her best friend also meets a guy who she wouldn't have met had it not been for Santa Claus, and they do Christmassy stuff. And again, all with this destination in mind of getting grandma's ornament on the tree. And that doesn't exactly work out the way it's supposed to work out, but then of course, it all works out. Everybody lives happily ever after. That's all you need to know. And what is surprising is that this movie is so, like, it's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous, the stuff that is going on in this movie. But at the same time, I did not dislike this movie. I was watching this movie the whole time. There's something that's so unabashedly goofy about this movie that makes me enjoy this movie. It is very hard to explain. I don't I, I don't know how to explain it except to say that um, it is zany. Isn't the? It's not that it's zany. It's just uh, I don't know. It's just kind of ridiculous. But I guess what gets me, I mean, I love the idea that Santa's pulling the strings. You know what it's like because someone say, I think it's the girl from Godwink or somebody who says like, well, that's a coincidence or that's a coincidence. So this is totally giving me like if Godwink were a was a movie about like Santa instead of God, like pulling the strings and stuff like that. So it's kind of like Santa wink instead of a God wink sort of thing. But I liked it. I have to give it at least 2.75 because I enjoyed it. Definitely checking it twice is the bar, and that was 2.5 for me, and I liked it better than that. But I don't know that I can. You know what? I mean, it might even get a 3. I will think about it. I will come back and decide. It might even get a 3 because I don't know. I borderline tell somebody who watches Hallmark movies to watch this because um, it's just random. But I was there for the whole trip. So anyway, okay, that's that movie. I'm gonna take a pause and then I'm gonna go and talk about the other movie that I watched. So just a moment. Okay, it's 10 seconds later and I'm back and I'm going to talk about Christmas Island. I like this movie, like a lot. First of all, you have Andrew Walker. What's not? I mean, it's Andrew Walker, so right off the bat, that's going to be good stuff. For the most part, I'm sure has some duds that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I love Andrew Walker, as do most of us Hallmark fans, I think. And it has the lady whose name I don't remember who was in Royal Nanny. And she is a pilot who's trying to get a job being a pilot for these rich people who are played by the dad from that from that show that has Andy McDowell and the lady from Winter Wonderland. And I really like the show and I watched the whole thing and it like ended on a cliffhanger. It had like 10 episodes. Of course I can't remember the name of it, but it's good. I'll post something about it right here. And he's so handsome. Like he has just such a beautiful head of hair and I love him. So I was really excited to see him. So he's the dad. And then the mom is this lady that I've never seen before, but I really liked her a lot. And then they have these 2 kids, a teenager and a younger kid. And I really like these kids. And they're supposed to go to Switzerland, but the plane, they hit this terrible weather, and so then they have to land on Christmas Island, which is in Nova Scotia or the coast of Nova Scotia or something's where it's supposed to be located. At least they filmed in Nova Scotia, so I'm pretty sure that that's where it's supposed to actually be taking. That's where Christmas Island is supposed to be. And what was I going to say? And Andrew Walker is the air traffic controller, and one of the first things that caught my mind was that she has an American accent in this, and she's Canadian. So when she didn't have an English accent like in the Royal Nanny, it was throwing me off and making me think like she's English and she's trying to be American because I've only ever seen her in Royal Nanny. There's some other movie that I realized that she's in that I feel like I started to watch, but I haven't finished it, and now I can't remember, but it's got like Trevor Donovan in it. Marry Me at Christmas, I want to say. And I don't remember if I ever watched that whole movie, but I did notice that she's in that movie. But anyway, so her voice was distracting me because she has this voice like how you would expect an airline pilot to talk. It's very like this, and we are going to be landing. We're at an altitude of such and such. And so she has that kind of voice, but because I know her as a Royal Nanny, it reminds me of an English person attempting to do an American accent, if that makes any sense. So that was the first thing. But I got over that. I got over myself. So when they can't go to Switzerland like they planned because of the weather, Andrew Walker's like, well, he's like, well, the bed and breakfast that's in town, because there's only one of them because this is a small town, it's filled up. So how about you, whole family, you can go and stay with this guy who we later find out is his dad, and then oh my god, what's her name, the pilot lady. Well, I literally just finished this movie and I can't remember her name. He's like, you can stay with the mayor, who we find out later is his sister. And I really liked her a lot. She's been in some other stuff too, I think, and I'm totally forgetting what it was. But, and so obviously what happens is they wind up having a grand old time on Christmas Island. She's not a big fan of Christmas. Her dad died when she was a teenager, and it was like the day before Christmas, so she doesn't really do Christmas. And this family, they like run a fashion business of some sort, and they're always on the go and don't have time for the kids. And so obviously this is forces everybody to have this wonderful, have this great time in this little town. And even when they are able to take off, they wind up deciding to stay because Christmas Island's ballin', and it's great. It's amazing. They love everybody there. And along the way, the royal nanny lady and Andrew Walker fall in love. And together, I think they have great chemistry. I love looking at Andrew Walker's face. I love looking at that other guy's face that I already mentioned with all the good hair. And it's just great. I enjoyed it. I liked all the characters. I totally bought what they were selling, and I enjoyed it a lot. So, this is going to get... I can't think of a reason not to give this a 4. It doesn't... I don't know exactly. I can't explain to you exactly why it's not a 5 for me, but it is absolutely... most definitely a 4 for me. It is a very entertaining movie. I would tell any Hallmark person to watch it. If you're an Andrew Walker fan and it'd be criminal for you to not watch this movie because it's really, really good. And yeah, I liked it a whole lot. As a matter of fact, I'll be thinking on this and trying to figure out why I don't have it higher than a 4. I think I'm going to go take a nap, and then I'll have a dream, and in the dream it will come to me about where this is supposed to be. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I'm trying this thing today where I'm actually like looking at the camera instead of like watching myself talk, because it's hard to just like stare into like nothing, just the camera on my computer. But I wonder if it'll make me look more like a real YouTuber because I'm actually looking in the camera, which means I'll be like looking at you guys. I mean, sometimes I'm looking at like my Marvel things in the background. We're just at the wall. So stupid. Anyway, thanks for being here. If you're a YouTube type of person who goes on the YouTube on the regular, and so you have an account, if you like this video, as I always say, it will make my day. It will just warm the cockles of my cold dead heart. And if you wanted to subscribe, that'd be amazing. I'm thrilled that you're here. Let me know let me try this again. Let me know what you think about these movies. Did you like them? Yeah, that's about it. I'm going to take a nap and then get back to watching more movies because I got to get caught up on this. And anyway, thanks for being here. Okay, bye.